We're here for the city council meeting. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we please have Reverend Karen Butler from the Wings of Deliverance please speak for us?
Father, in the name of Jesus, I come to you tonight, and I just want to say thank you. They don't really know me, but I just want to say thank you, Lord, for the city of Lincoln Park. I thank you for its people. I thank you for its government. And tonight I ask you, Lord, that in a world that is evil and full of turmoil right now, I pray for this city. I pray for this city council and its current leadership, Mayor Higgins tonight. I pray that you would cover them with your blood and with your divine protection, because people are doing all kinds of things. And we pray, God, that you would keep peace in this chamber, that you let it be peaceful, that you help your people to have a difference of opinion, but yet respect each other, and to be kind to one another, and to care about your people of this city. I thank you that I'm a part, that I've been allowed to come and share this prayer. We're remembering tonight Brother Bob Steele and his entire family as they grieve, Lord God. And any other people, we're praying for every phase of government, even those that serve in the library as well as the policemen. We pray, God, that you would continue to bless them, that you would keep them, that you would remember their families, remember their children, protect them. In Jesus' name we pray. And I ask these blessings. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Mayor Higgins, can I just a minute?
Absolutely.
Before I leave, most of you do not know me, but I want to encourage the council tonight. As I sat there, I felt led to ask for permission to say this. My history with, I live in Taylor now. I'm trying to keep from crying. But my history with Lincoln Park is through the church, Bethel Assembly of God. And in 2009, I want you all to see me and to remember who I am. Lincoln Park was a blessing to me because in 2009, I went through homelessness. And I was a client of ChristNet. And that's how I ended up in the city of Lincoln Park. I was 59 years old. And today, I'm 72 years old. And I thank God, I mean that from my heart. If you think that your life and what you're doing doesn't make a difference, I believe that God made for me to be here tonight to let you know that what you do, what you say, what you think makes a difference in the city. And Lincoln Park, to some degree, was like an oasis in the desert. I lived in Westland for 7.5 years, lost a job, the process, lost my place or whatever, ended up in ChristNet, slept on the floor on a mat at Bethel Assembly of God. Now my church, Wings of Deliverance Transforming Ministries, is an affiliated church with Bethel Assembly of God. And I didn't say anything before, but tonight, for some reason, I'm emotional tonight, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for caring for God's people, no matter what the race, the creed, the culture, or their status in life. Thank you.
Thank you for all you've done. Could we have a roll call, please?
Certainly. Councilpersons Bear,
Here.
Dupre. Here. Ross. Here. Salcido.
Here.
Soar.
Here.
Tobin. Here. And Mayor Higgins.
Here. Before I go on to Mayor's remarks, we have a special guest here tonight. Our county commissioner is here, if she would like to say something.
Thank you for that introduction, Mayor. Cara Clementi, County Commissioner for District 4 now, which I represent Lincoln Park, Melvindale, Ecorse, River Rouge, and parts of Southwest Detroit. Mayor and Council, thank you for letting me come and give you a little update about what I've been up to these last 4 months as the County Commissioner. So I found out very quickly that people weren't sure exactly what a county commissioner did, so I put together a little pamphlet that is at the library, and anyone can get these if they call my office. Recently, I put out a newsletter about what I've been up to in my communities and different events that have been happening. So if you did not receive one of these, I can also get that to you through my office. There is a citizen guide that has all the commissioners and what county government is all about, more an overview, and that is also available through my office. And then my last thing that I have is about our Wayne County parks. I know we have wonderful parks in Lincoln Park and different areas of the cities that I represent, but there's also Wayne County parks and Wayne County activities. So this I'll put at the library, and also it can be available. I have some for council and the mayor and anyone else that would like one. And I just want to kind of tell you a little bit about what we've been doing down at the county. So in ARPA dollars, which is the American Rescue dollars, there were proposals given to the county in batch 1. Lincoln Park received money in the amount of, I gotta find this here, I think it's $175,000 for the downtown outdoor fitness park. So that was nice, and hopefully that is getting underway. I've been hearing different things about that. The other thing that I wanted to let you know is that we have the Ecorse Creek Drainage District that runs through 4 of my cities in District 4, and we just approved $10 million in ARPA dollars to help to retain professional services for much-needed drain maintenance that will include tree clearing, obstruction removal, bank erosion, stabilization, and other things. This funding was approved on April 20th at our full board meeting, and our department is working on contractors. As that project goes along, I'll come back with updates. Of course, this is just the beginning. It's more of a floor than a ceiling with this $10 million because it goes through a lot of communities. And if any work is going to be done in our area, the county will be letting you know. Also, the Wayne County road crews are currently working on improvements on Southfield. I'm sure you've seen all the orange barrels if you're heading down towards Ecorse. It's 4th Street near Council Point. And the other thing that, of course, it's pothole season. So Wayne County also has a number to report potholes, which is 1-888-762-3273. When you call, you will be given a tracking number for your complaint so they can keep track of things. One more thing I want to mention, as I was driving down 4th Street, I saw the grass. So I wanted to let you know that I have put a request in to our people about getting the grass cut before the parade. So, of course, it's MDOT's grass, but we will try to make sure that before our Memorial Day parade, that the grass looks nice. And that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
I do want to tell everybody that you have come to the city when we've had private meetings and talked about things, and I want to thank you for that. And I also want to know that came together at a party someplace in town, and I grabbed her and I said, "We have to look at this." And we took a little tour of the creek, and she's very, very good, and I'm very knowledgeable. And I just want to say thank you for helping us steer us in the right direction.
You're welcome very much. Yes, I am definitely here to help in any way that I can. And yes, I have been meeting with city officials, and I will continue doing that. I have cards that I can pass out. If anybody needs to know how to get a hold of me, I have them. So thank you.
And if you want to leave some of the pamphlets, we have a place downstairs that we can put them out where the public can get to them.
Okay, perfect.
I'll
All
make sure that they get there.
right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I do want to say under Mayor's remarks, did we do the roll call yet?
We did.
Okay, I'm making sure. I thought we did. Okay. We have had a very remarkable 2 weeks since our last meeting, and I want to talk a little bit about being very proud of being a mayor of a town that has done so much in just 2 weeks. We had the Earth Day cleanup last Saturday. We had 100 people show up to volunteer. We managed to get 5 different parks cleaned. We managed to get several businesses in town. Several clubs came forward. I'd like to give a big thank you to the court and to the Koch brothers who showed up. And a lot of other individuals. Our county commissioner was there for that cleanup, by the way. Council members were there. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody, and it was really great. Then this weekend, we had the Cinco de Mayo celebration. Great vendors, great music. The whole day was just wonderful. Everything without an incident all day long. Bands were great. Music was great. The dancers were spectacular. And we even had the United States Congressman stop by to say hello to everybody. We also had this week the historical fundraiser at the museum. They've been hurting. They do a fundraiser, an annual dinner. We did this at the high school. A very nice crowd. We raised some money. I gave a little speech at the end talking about, the museum needs some money, and I was doing an auction, and we raised quite a bit of money, and I want to thank everybody who was there and everybody who gave money to the museum. And anybody who hasn't been to that museum, by the way, it is the true gem of Lincoln Park. If you want to know about the history of Lincoln Park, it is there. If you have any questions, Wednesday evening and Saturdays, they are open. Very worth your time coming by. I had the very pleasure of doing not one, but 2 weddings this week here at City Hall. Very young, happy couples, hopefully going on to a good life. We had not 1, not 2, but 3 grand openings. Businesses are opening in Lincoln Park on a pretty regular basis now. Lincoln Park's coming back to life, and it's so good to see. We met with the YMCA and the Downriver Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to be putting together some programs with the YMCA and our recreation department. So that was a very good meeting. And I just want to say how proud I am and how wonderful Lincoln Park is becoming, and in a very short time, it's coming back to life, and just very proud of that. And with that, I will move on to the agenda. Resolve the following items listed under the consent agenda be approved and as presented to the mayor and city council. Approve the minutes of the meetings held on April 17th. Approve the minutes for the special meeting held in the session on April 17th. Accounts and payable over $25,000. Solicit bids pre-qualify for the blight contractors. Solicit bid for the ordinance department renovations. Schedules special meeting for a closed session for city manager review. approve the reapportions, variance boards and commissions, reappointments, I'm sorry, and authorize the training for the police academy. And before I call for a vote, I do want to say, for number 8, I just want to thank all our commissioners who come back and all our commissioners who do so much work. Thank you.
I'll move.
Motion, or
Yep.
I'd like to poll number 6 for discussion, if I could, please, Mayor.
Okay, we're going to pull number 6, so that will be moved to the end of the meeting?
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. All right. And with any other quick comments, then we will call for the vote.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Zor,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
and Mayor Higgins.
Yes. Okay, now if we could have our CBDG director up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have a resolution in front of you to authorize awarding the bid for the 2023 CDBG concrete program. This will be to continue resurfacing Ferris Ave from White Avenue to Southfield Freeway. We opened the bids on April 12th, and the lowest bidder was GV Cement Contracting Company at $395,139. We are recommending that you guys resolve to award the bid to them in the amount, to GV Cement Contracting Company in the amount of $435,000, which includes a 10% contingency program, or amount. The funding will come from all CDBG accounts listed in the letter. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, with that, resolved that the 2023 CBDG contract program to GV Cement Contracting Company of Brownstown, Michigan, in the amount of $435,000. This amount includes a 10% contingency to the base bid. Be it further resolved that the mayor and council authorize the funds to be taken from the CBDG accounts 249-045-75519, 249-046-75519, and 249-0475519.
I'll move.
Okay.
Support.
Can I ask one question? Have we worked with this contractor before? Okay, and we're all satisfied. That's all I need to ask. Hearing nothing else, I call for a vote.
Councilpersons Bear,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Zor,
Yes.
and Mayor Higgins.
Yes. And once again, we have our director.
And then the second request that I have in front of you is authorization to award construction management on the 2023 CDBG concrete program. And we are requesting a total of $39,340 to cover construction management costs for Hennessy Engineering. Again, those funds will come from CDBG funding from account number 249-046-75519.
Okay. That being said, be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Hennessy Engineering Incorporated to provide the consolidation management for the road reconstruction on Ferris Avenue from White Avenue to Southfield Road, not to exceed the cost of $39,400, Be it further resolved that the mayor and council authorize the funds to be taken from the CBDG account 249-046-75519.
I'll move.
Support.
Any questions? Hearing none, I ask call for a vote.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Soar?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins.
Yes. Next one's up
Thank
from
you.
our city manager.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. What I'm asking for tonight is a resolution authorizing me to apply to the state, to their Protecting My Pension Grant Program. This is a one-time grant program that got put into place during this year's budget. The state set aside $750 million for municipalities across the state that are funded at under 60% of pension liabilities. Unfortunately, we are certainly one of those communities. So what we're looking for tonight is a resolution authorizing me to apply. Applications just opened up April 17th. They're going to be accepting applications until June 15th. And then they're supposed to make the award decision June through July. And then funds are supposed to be dispersed in August. We're one of the qualifying communities, and when they put this together, they were looking at how much it was going to cost. So this is, a program that we're reasonably certain we should be getting.
Hearing that, resolve that the mayor and council hereby adopt the resolution to include funding in the two...
Other one.
The other one.
There you go.
Oh, okay, I see. I forgot
the
to move
next
that
one.
one. Oh. Was in the wrong order. Sorry, folks. Be resolved that the mayor and city council authorize the city manager to file a claim of a grant payment for the Protection of Michigan Pension Grant Program.
Support.
And everybody?
Right. Make it unanimous. Can we do that?
We can make that unanimous,
You
everybody
can-
agrees?
You can move and then get the
I move that
full
we make
support.
this unanimous.
Support of the council.
Support from everybody?
Support from everyone.
There it is.
But you still got to call the roll under the...
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will.
But I will say, this is something that would be a great thing for Lincoln Park.
I think the pension's funded at was it 36% now?
Yeah, we're in that range.
This will take us up to 60%, which is just a fabulous thing to happen to our city that, it would take us 20 years to get to 60%.
Well, if I may, that 36-ish, that's just the police and fire. That doesn't even take into account the municipal pension system, which is funded even worse, and partly because it has even fewer people still paying into it.
Yeah.
And so that is even slower to recover, so this is an even bigger boost for that.
Right. So, this is just going to save so many years of us getting where we should be. So,
This will help Lincoln Park financially in many ways.
Through the chair?
Call the roll, then went to discussion.
Had a
We have a
question.
question. I'm gonna answer the question.
Do we have to file separately, I assume? for
Yeah,
the
and we
different-
have to, I believe we have to file a application for each one, but I'm not 100% sure. But I've looked at the applications, and they're not really difficult. They're pretty standard.
do you have an idea when they'll go out?
My hope is that I would try and get them done this week. If other things come in, then of course it's going to take precedent, but we'll be applying well ahead of the deadline.
Okay, now we will call for the vote.
Mayor Higgins.
Yes.
Councilpersons Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Tobin.
Yes.
Okay, now we got another one from the city manager.
So a similar topic, but with this program, the original bill that was proposed at the state level actually included some additional funding. I think the total funding was $1 billion, so $250 million that would be given out prorated to communities that were above 60% funded. Between proposal and eventual adoption and everything, that $250 million got taken out. There's a movement across the state for communities who are funded above 60, who feel it's unfair, and they're looking for a new bill that would reinstate that funding. In an effort to help and lend some credibility to their cause, I've been assisting them, and also in an effort to ensure that the movement was not to attack communities that were 60% funded and less, or to in any way jeopardize our funding. I was part of this group. So what we're looking for tonight is a resolution of support for the efforts to try and get some additional funding for our neighbors across the state, to help with some of their pension obligations as well.
All right, resolved that the mayor and council hereby adopt the resolution, including the funding in the 2023 My Pension Grant Program pension funds for communities which are currently funded above 60% by reference.
I'll move.
Support.
Any questions? Call for the vote.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Zohr,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Salcido,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
and Mayor Higgins.
Yes. Okay, it's time for the city manager's report.
We
Nope,
got a couple things still.
Oh, yes, true, we have the...
we have to take number 6,
Take number 6.
I think you also have that miscellaneous.
and we have the
Oh,
miscellaneous.
I'll say, okay. Great. Resolved that the mayor and council hereby schedule a special meeting on May 8th, 2023 at 6 PM in the John A. Aloisi Council Chambers, 1355 Southfield Road, Lincoln Park, Michigan, for the purpose of evaluation of the city manager. Be it further resolved that this meeting be held in closed session at the request of James Karzizian.
To the chair.
We have to have a,
Sorry.
We have to have a
support-
mover.
A mover and a supporter?
So move.
We have a mover. Do we have a supporter?
I'll support. I have a question
Okay,
also.
we can support for conversation. Okay? And you brought this up, so I'm going to let you go first.
The day and time does not work for me, and I'm asking if you could reschedule, do another day. I will be back on the 10th, or actually, I'll be back on the 9th, so anytime after the 9th.
Okay, I don't know what's going on in city chambers that night.
The 9th would be Planning Commission, right?
Okay.
10th would probably be either EDC or DDA,
GEA on
right, Thursday.
So that gets us to Friday, and there's nothing on that Friday.
To the chair as well.
Okay?
I will also not be available on the original date.
Okay.
Through the chair, Your Honor, how about on the 15th? That's a regular council meeting.
We already have an early meeting. We could go 2 early meetings. I was trying to avoid that. That's why I schedule it as
The off
an
week.
off week. We could just go to the next off week. Would that be fine? That would give us the
That would be the 22nd.
22nd. Is 22nd good for everybody?
So it goes from, okay.
Works for me to just come up with a time.
Yeah,
What time?
We'll stick with the 6 o'clock?
okay.
Mr. Zohr?
That works for me.
Okay. You back in town by then, Jason? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Is that good with the mover and the supporter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tobin? Is that date change okay with you?
Through the chair.
Yes.
We had asked that, when we were doing the evaluation, that the administration, the other elected officials be included in the evaluation, and I believe it was brought up at least 3 times, and that hasn't happened. And now that we've moved this out so far, is it possible that we get that done before the date when we have the closed session?
I'll bring that to the city manager. Can you arrange something for that?
I'm not sure if I'd be able to in that in that time with the amount of stuff we have going on. I can certainly try. But I think it would, honestly, it would depend on what exactly we're looking for, right? And that, therein is the issue, is trying to figure out a proper way to do it, right?
Okay, without asking any questions that you would be asked that night, okay, I'm going to ask what you would like to ask the department heads.
How they feel the working situation is, the workload is, the working relationship, how things move. Somebody else have anything they want to put? This was not just my thoughts, this was a group of us that felt that, since we are not with you during the day, we don't know exactly how things are run. Then we'd like to hear from people that do spend a lot of time with you and do work with you on a daily basis, and see what they have to say and give us more insight.
So we want workload,
How things run, I mean, are they,
how relationships are on a day-to-day, are you saying? Okay,
are timelines met, that kind of thing?
Through the chair, Your Honor.
yes.
I believe 2 years ago when we did the review for the city manager, it was at the high school because it was during COVID. It was brought up because we're all part-time council people. I don't know the day-to-day operations of what happens here at City Hall, and it was brought up that the people that work within City Hall, how's the relationship, how's the how do they gel in here? I mean, obviously you answer all our questions via emails and you're very forthcoming, but we don't know how the day-to-day operations are handled. So in regards to questions, on our review that we did, it could be very similar without being specific. So that's my 2 cents. It was brought up 2 years ago that we had people at City Hall do evaluation.
So it's the same 4 general questions that Councilman Tobin has asked. So could you just put something out with those particular 4 questions?
I'll try. I struggle with the idea of doing this in such a short window in order to put together something that's, number one, valid, and number 2, is going to be meaningful. The reason department heads originally weren't involved in this was something that got kind of sprung on at the last minute, and there wasn't time to properly plan it. So I can certainly try, but what else is something that we should be working on that we won't be getting accomplished? But if that's the direction the council would like to go, I can try and make that the priority over other things.
I mean, we don't need a ton of questions, like 4 or 5 questions, so we get an idea of how they feel, and, if they're happy, if there's things they want to see improved, things that they like, just that kind of things, basically kind of the stuff that we were asked.
Right, and I understand that, but from a background of I've done, advanced education in statistical surveys and doing things like this. My master's thesis was on a satisfaction survey, right? I struggle with something that quick and short being valid.
We were asked quite a while ago to do this. I mean, it's not like we're springing it on you the last minute. We've been asking for this. So,
right.
But if you can't do it, we can't do it. But if you can, it would be great. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Through the chair.
Yes.
James, without it causing you, to drop other things, can you just use the same evaluation form that you gave to us?
I would argue against it because that's you're talking two different audiences, right? For your evaluation of me, you're really looking at, are you satisfied with the progress the city is making? Are you satisfied with your relationship with me, with progress on the goals and objectives, things like that? You're looking more, from what my understanding, what I'm hearing, you're almost looking more from an employment engagement status, employment satisfaction, that sort of stuff from the staff. They're two totally different audiences, right? if I was to be able to treat you guys exactly equal the same way on everything, we'd be stuck in this weird cycle of not getting anything done, right? And it puts me in a weird position that's hard to describe, right?
And what we want, I think what everybody's wanting is we just want to know the feeling of what everybody, on a day-to-day basis here, is it a good place to work? How can we improve it? And work with you to do that. I don't think anybody's wanting to put any pressure in a bad way. I'm not hearing that. After seeing the evaluations that I have seen, I don't think anybody wants that. I think they just want a little more information. So with your pledge, you will try the best you can to answer those 4 questions and get a questionnaire out. We will move ahead, and we will take a vote on this date.
Ready?
Ready?
Councilpersons Dupre?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Soar?
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins.
Yes. The other question, real quick before we move on, since this was Councilman Tobin's idea, you said department heads and who do you want?
Other elected officials.
Other elected officials. So you want the clerk and the treasurer.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that, we are all on the same page so that we will be ready that night,
And that was at 6 o'clock, right? Not 6:30?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Now we will move on to, there was a miscellaneous.
What'd you do with yours?
I know what I did with it. I'll borrow yours. Resolved that the study session originally scheduled for May 1st, 2023 regarding the CDBG 108 loan program be rescheduled to May 15th, 2023 at 6:30 PM at the John A. Aloisi Council Chambers at City Hall, 1355 Southfield, Lincoln Park.
I'll move.
Support.
Any questions? And by the way, this is why we went to the all off meeting day. Call for the vote.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Soar?
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins.
Yes.
That was 6.
Now we will move to the city manager report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So just real quick, you guys just rescheduled the Section 108 loan study session. I do want to address something. When this topic was first brought up at the council table, our DDA director did come to the podium and made some statements that were very discrediting and, in effect, were an attack on the professional reputation of our CDBG coordinator, Joan Grigg. As I've gone back and done an investigation and stuff, the statements made were inaccurate, should not have been made, and Joan shouldn't have had to put up with that. And so I wanted to acknowledge that and publicly apologize to Joan for having to deal with that. So that said, I'm going to highlight Joan again real quick because it's anniversary meeting, and she's hitting her 1 year this month. And now I am going to butcher the next name because I'm terrible. But Christian Dezecki, I've got a thumbs up. Christian Dezecki is hitting his 1 year in the police department, so congratulations to him. Other than that, a quick note on some hiring. We should have a new part-time assessing clerk starting hopefully by the end of this week. They're doing some new hire paperwork things. We should have a new part-time DPS coming on board this week. We also have another app for a part-time DPS employee who's going to be coming in for testing. We have 2 full-time DPS applicants who are at the ending stages of the pre-employment screening process. And then we also have a couple more apps that are being scheduled for testing, so we're moving forward there. HR and building have done the interviews for for the code enforcement positions, and we're going to be shuffling the people around here very soon, so that's exciting. Quick update on the animal shelter. The animal shelter is being staked and should start construction, I'm being told, next week. Hopefully, they're pouring footings next week. So that's really exciting. And then the generator project, we're still moving forward. It's taking a little bit of time. Hennessy is reaching out to the contractor to make sure things are still lining up, because as you recall, that project had some really long lead times for materials. We were talking in the 32, 36-week kind of lead time, which still I think is a little bit of ways, but we're moving forward on a lot of projects. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot more tonight, but what questions do you guys have for me?
To the chair.
One question first, please. We went through all the employees. What about the event coordinator?
We have one more interview scheduled for next week.
All right, Mr. Jason, you're first.
I would like to thank you for what you acknowledged in the beginning of this statement for those things that were said at the past meeting. I was very appalled by them, personally speaking. And when you referenced the building department applicant these are for the new code enforcement positions that are being created. What about the other building department applicants that we're working on to bring some things in-house? Any progress in that?
We do have progress. I did send you guys in my Friday update kind of a timeline, a little bit of a plan. So the next step right now, we are working on updating the job descriptions for positions we call permit techs. These are the admins inside the office. Hopefully we get that. Our plan is to have that done this week so we could get it posted next week. There's some union issues to deal with for the building inspector positions, so I started the process on Friday with that, and we're still moving forward. That's kind of the holdup there is working that out before we can get those positions posted. But concurrently, we're going to be updating the job descriptions. We haven't hired these positions we're talking 15 years. It's been a very long time since we've had these positions in-house. So it's I talk about the amount of stuff going on and how busy we are inside the office right now. This is an undertaking, and this is taking a great amount of time. I think 3 hours in the last 2 days for sure have been spent almost solely on this. So.
Okay. Well, I certainly appreciate the efforts of you and the building department for this very big undertaking.
And it also it's been finance, it's been HR. It is an all hands on deck kind of effort.
Any
The
other
chair.
questions?
That's all.
To the chair,
Go ahead.
are we supporting no mow May? No one cutting their grass in May? There's other cities doing it, I'm just asking the question.
So currently, there is no official directive for us to not enforce the noxious weed parts of city code during May.
Thank you.
However, if it was council's desire, you guys that is 100% in your court.
Yeah, no. Thank you.
Okay,
No.
I'm just bringing it up, so in case somebody brings it up, we're covered.
Okay.
Thought he
Through the
said
chair.
no mo.
Lillian, you're next.
No mo May.
Yeah.
No mo, what?
Please, this is a,
No, we have enough issues. We don't need to let the grass grow like that. The whole heating thing at DPS, did we get the parts?
John's
Still-
shaking his head
still
that we're still
nothing?
waiting on parts.
We're still waiting on them, they're back ordered still.
Okay. And because we're shifting code enforcement, we're still using the LP Pride email, right? And
So we're going to be shifting the way some of that, like, on the back end is working. But you should, once things are in place, the telephone number for LP Pride, it won't be considered LP Pride anymore, but that should be able to be ported directly to the code enforcement coordinator. So there should hopefully be a lot less bumps as we're moving forward. But I'm sure we're going to find things that we haven't thought about yet, and we're going to find connections that, connections in the back end that are made that we didn't realize were there. And emails
Right.
may end up going to the wrong person. We're just going to have to be diligent about making sure things get forwarded, and we cover all those bases as we move forward.
Right. And I realize that it's time consuming, but it's going to be so worth it in the end. So I appreciate all the time that everyone's taking with it.
Through the chair?
Yes.
I sent you an email earlier today asking about the firewalls that they're putting in and if they're drawings and who's watching. I mean, I know it's the building department, so I
Right.
have no doubt it's going to be done correctly, but is there going to be a follow-up? Is there going to be drawing plans? Is the fire department going to be doing inspections like they would for any other business?
John and I spoke about this earlier, yes. The building department is going to be on top of making sure, because the fire separation walls are a building code requirement. They're going to be the ones making sure that it's done
Okay.
according to building code.
Okay, yeah, fire chief stuff,
Yep.
I gotta ask.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing is, we're no longer getting bid specs in our packages. Is there a reason for that?
No, there isn't. They should be there.
Okay.
I think sometimes we're dropping these things in very quickly, and it's just getting missed.
Okay.
But
Well, it's a learning tool for some of us.
no,
know
I
it is for
agree.
me.
I really like having the RFPs
Yeah.
and the bid specs ready to go before we come back to you. So we'll make sure we're back on that.
That's all I have.
Anybody else?
Through the chair, Your Honor, yes.
Yes.
Ruby Recycling, any updates? I know we had a resident come up here 2 weeks ago. I've had some text messages about noise, dust, dirt,
So
stacking on each other. Is there a limit on how high they can stack their vehicles?
So, yes, there are a lot of different issues going on at that site. Both, myself and Chief Lavis have been out and met with them. We have met in-house here with them, as well as, we had building, we had myself, we had a whole crew. We do have some things we're ironing out with them. We've got some city staff that are gonna be meeting with residents this week, to try and address, and listen and get some issues. And we are planning to do a public forum with Ruby Recycling, where the public can come and, ask questions and learn about what's going on and what they're doing. But we're diligently working to address as many issues as possible.
Very well, thank you very much.
I will say, I said in one of the meetings, and that the owners are very aware of issues and are trying to help.
Good thing, thank you.
So, anybody else have anything for the city manager? And we will move on to department head, and I want to remind our department head that we have an election tomorrow, so I don't want her to go on forever. So if we can have the city clerk speak.
I will certainly try to keep it brief so that I can go home and go to sleep. Like the mayor said, tomorrow is election day in the city. We have moved all of the voting precincts to a single centralized location. Everybody who is in-person voting tomorrow needs to go to the Banshall Kennedy Memorial Building and cast their vote there. If you have an absentee ballot, that ballot needs to be returned to us before 8 p.m. tomorrow night so that it can be counted. We don't count any votes after 8, that's received, any ballots that are received past 8 p.m. tomorrow night. So I hope everybody comes out and votes tomorrow. Like I said, one centralized location. The biggest reason for that is the fact that this election was not considered until after the school schedule had already been put into effect. Children are in school tomorrow, class is in session, and so that we don't have to open all of the school buildings and break security for the schools and open them to the public, we move them to a centralized location that is not in a school building. It also saves us some money having them in a single location, but it also ensures the integrity of the school security systems. So That way we don't have the buildings open. Other than that, the city clerk's office is open for business. Dog licenses went on sale today, so that'll continue. They are due June 1st. Business registrations are due tomorrow is the due date for them. So the city clerk's office is doing a little bit of stuff here in the next 24 hours, so please have mercy on me tomorrow if it takes a while to get through on the phone. Know that it's because I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Leave a message. We'll call you back as quickly as we can. And that's about all I have, unless somebody has questions for me.
Move on to that. We will go to citizens' comments. Anybody would like to address this body?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Richard Kudrak. With respect to the city manager's review, I'm confused on what you want him to do, but I do have a suggestion. Pass a resolution to have a closed session, study session, where the council, without the city manager being present, can schedule and bring in the department heads. You can talk, give them 15 minutes. Talk to whoever you want to talk to. Maybe you can do this twice a year. That'll let you all get at the same time the information on what's going on in all of the departments. Thank you.
Mike Horvath, I'll be quick. I was very positive with Cinco de Mayo and the cleanup and some of the things going on. I know there's a lot of problems with the roads, and they're being focused on this, but I appreciate it and look very much forward to our Memorial Day parade. But yes, this was very good with the cleanup and stuff that just occurred. Yay.
Thank you.
Hi, Leslie Lynch Wilson. Hey, Lincoln Park Preservation Alliance, the Ghost Walk, we always do it in October because we always think of ghosts, paranormal activity in October. But of course, we know that paranormal activity is around us all the time. So we decided to do a spring ghost walk. And it's going to be next Saturday, May 6th. It'll start at 6:30. Now you need to get on Eventbrite and book your reservation, pay for your ticket that way. But one of the several reasons why we decided to do this was the local historical organizations like Dearborn, Flat Rock, Wayne all do these types of paranormal activities twice a year, spring and fall. And of course, we know across the country in some cities weekly they do tours like this. But also, we usually in spring it's warmer, so tonight is not any indication, but a lot of times in October it's really cold. So so it'll be the same ghost walk that we do in October. And of course, another plus is May is National Historic Preservation Month, so this is a great way to celebrate that. But participants at the ghost walk will hear haunting stories and history about the early days of Lincoln Park. And we will tell some stories, ghost stories associated with the buildings and homes along Fort Park from Southfield to Garfield. And this section of Lincoln Park dates back to the 1850s when Cleophas Goodell purchased 120 acres from the Native Americans. And of course, several of Lincoln Park's founding families lived along there, the Goodell family and the Quant family. So I hope you will come out. We've got some great stories to tell, actually some stuff that's really happened, including this building. I think this is like the most haunted building. So if you want to know, you got to come. Thanks.
Anyone else like to address this body?
Okay, my name's Rick Succo. A couple things I want to address. I appreciate receiving this in the mail. I'm old school and I gotta have paper. I can't do the stuff on the internet or my phone. Unfortunately, I got this like Wednesday of this week, and it talked about addressing and cleaning up the area, and that had already passed, so this could get sent to the post office sooner, it would be a good idea, because I know the Postal Service sometimes takes a little time before they deliver to the residential area. Secondly, somebody talked about the cleanup area on Ecorse Creek. Lincoln Park is surrounded 3 sides by Ecorse Creek. So it's important that we do some environmental cleanup on that. And with that issue, I'm a big park walker. I walk Council Point Park as much as possible, other than when it's snowing and raining and, wind chill factor below 20 below. There's a sign up there that says, "No dogs, no pets allowed." And that, I believe, needs to be changed. So we'll have to somehow the city council is going to have to go through and change that ordinance. And I'd like to bring it to your attention. I lost my my Shih Tzu a year ago, killed by a pit bull here in this town. And when I walk that park and I see somebody else walking a dog, I always ask, "May I pet your dog? May I pet your dog?" And most of the times they let me, and it's such relief to me. It makes me feel so good. And I honestly believe that if Council Point Park, pets could be walked on a leash, the dogs around the park, I think that would be very, very instrumental and very positive for a lot of people. Everybody's afraid of the dog poop that's in the park. There's more goose poop than there's in dog poop. But I've talked to a business. They will pay for one of these disposal points where you can get the little trash bags to pick up dog poop and throw that in the trash bins and stuff like that. They will pay for it. So this is something that, I hate to bring, you need some time to think about and discuss about it, but I think there's so many positive things that can be done at Council Point. It's fantastic as it is, but I like to escalate it and bring it to a higher level. And I'm just addressing you at this point, and I'll probably follow up here in the next few weeks on and give you some more information on it. But again, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else like to discuss or talk to this body? In that case, I just want to add to city managers about our CBDG director. She's been here a year now. I'm the liaison to that group, and I just want to say she has done an amazing job, and we are glad that she is here. Okay. And with that, we will start with city council, and we'll go with our president.
I'll make it brief because of the election tomorrow, but a great idea about walking a dog in a park like that. Of course, there's probably some logistical issues. But anyway, I just want to thank Carol Clemente, our county commissioner, for coming up here tonight and giving her a report. Thank you very much. It's nice to know and to hear what's happening, and I know you're busy, so I will get that pothole number, though, from you for the Wayne County Road. So that's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
And we go with Ms. Dupre.
Just 2 events that I'm involved in and excited about is the Memorial Day Parade, May 21st at 1 p.m., and then we have the Comic-Con coming the first weekend of June. And those are sponsored by Hands of the City, of which I'm part of, and we look forward to them being really good events for Lincoln Park. Other than that, everybody enjoy spring, and God bless.
First of all, I want to apologize for drinking that coffee the way I did. It had a hole in the cup and it was going everywhere. So it was just going everywhere. So apologize for that. I just want to say Cinco turned out well. Everybody seemed to have a wonderful time. I know I enjoyed myself, the vendors, the food trucks, the bands. Everybody did well. It's really great when people can come into our city. I've been getting emails from the last 2 days of people saying how happy they were and how wonderful they are and when can they come back to the city. So that's a big positive thing. It is the 10th anniversary of the Lincoln Park Excel Club. 10 years ago today, the Excel Club, which is the junior club for the National Exchange Club, was formed at Lincoln Park High School, which is no easy feat to get kids to join a service organization. But 10 years ago we formed it, and it has been going strong for 10 years. And when you have a club like that, the kids graduate and they're gone. And there's been a few years where the school has started and there's not been one member in the club. This year we're up to 9 members with great leadership. They had a little celebration today. The national CEO came up from Ohio. We had cake. It was wonderful. The Excel Club comes to a lot of events in the city and just helps. They do our Breakfast with Santa, they do our parade, they help with Art in the Park, the Zombie Apocalypse. Anytime they're asked to do something in the city, they're the first ones that'll come out and do it. So congratulations to the Lincoln Park Excel Club, and I hope they get 10 more years and they get the kind of leadership they have now. And that's all I have. Just wish it gets warm, everybody. That's it. Thank you.
Julia?
Thank you. I want to start off by saying thank you to Lisa and our directors and all our employees. We had a 6 o'clock budget meeting, and we actually have a very outstanding outlook for this coming year, so congratulations to all. I want to thank our commissioners and board members also, who once again volunteered to be reappointed. And I want to say thank you to all who came out to the annual dinner program and fundraiser for the museum. A special thank you to Cara Clemente and her family, who shared all kinds of pictures and stories. It was a great time. I want to also, at the dinner, I need to thank Mixter School, who provided us some artwork donations. And I thought, how appropriate, with it having been April, that we end up with artwork to help spread autism awareness. And what a better way than for some of us to end up with artwork from Mixter, and we'll be able to spread awareness, whether we hang up the pictures in our homes or offices or wherever. Let's see here. On Saturday, May 6th, from 10 to 1, there will be a spring cleanup at the museum. If you would like to volunteer, we need help with planting, trimming, weeding, raking, and mulching. So hope to see you Saturday, May the 6th, from 10 to 1, and that is right at the museum. Also, Mixter School, I want to remind you, I know I said this last time, but Mixter School is looking for help with their garden over the summer. So you can find them on Facebook at Mixter Garden /Market Stand ASD Post-Secondary. So if you find yourself with some time and that's something that you think you'd like to do, look them up on Facebook. The Wayne County Household Hazardous Waste Collection, the next date is June 17th from 8 to 1 at the Henry Ford College in Dearborn. And I just want to bring your attention, I know we had resident bring up the happenings. It does have a little bit of a different look, and it's eye-catching. But I did want to bring your attention to the page with the Lincoln Park Summer Concert Series that happens on Thursday nights. The lineup is all there for you, so hopefully you will keep that handy. Also, right in the happenings, I happened to catch that on Tuesday, May 16th, from 8 to 8, the Lincoln Park Police Department is having a blood drive. So if you can do that, they would much appreciate it. Also, now I'm going to go back to the museum. Mr. Bill Morrison, who does a lot of things for the museum, made this drawing, and we're going to put it on, or the museum is going to sell T-shirts and sweatshirts, and this will be the design on them. I think it really is beautiful. So if you're interested...
If I may, for people who don't know who Bill Morrison is, he is the brainchild behind The Simpsons. He did the art for a long time on the Simpson comics, and he was also the editor of Mad Magazine, and he will also be a guest star at Downriver Comic Con.
There you go, yes.
And he came from Lincoln Park,
Yes.
homegrown.
Lincoln Park graduate.
Lincoln Park graduate.
And he always does things for the museum. It's beautiful. So if you're interested in the T-shirts or the sweatshirts, they're going to be just just like you saw, they're going to be royal blue. You can get them in all sizes, from small to 4X. They are $20 for a t-shirt, $30 for a sweatshirt. It will be an additional $5 for a 2X or 3X, and a $10 additional charge for a 4X. But by all means, contact the Lincoln Park Museum, and payments can be made to the Lincoln Park Historical Museum. I'm not sure yet if you can get these through their website. So if you do that, you'd be able to use your credit card, but I will find out and let you know. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Jason, you're on.
Thank you. I'll keep it very short. I'd just like to wish good luck to our city clerk and her department and staff tomorrow. That's all. God bless.
Mr. Zorb.
I'd like to say thank you to our county commissioner for being here tonight. Also like to thank our police department for a handling of a dog situation, holding a postman hostage. Made a phone call. They were very quick on getting to the scene, handled the situation, very professional. No harm was done to the animal. Everything worked out very well. And the postman's very grateful, hasn't had an issue since, so he wanted to say his thanks to you also. I also like to send my sympathy to the Steele family for another loss in the family. I also would like to say good luck to our Little League. They had their opening day Saturday. Very big turnout. I was very surprised. And I'd like to say congratulations to the Lincoln Park High School DECA team.
Yes.
They finished first nationally. I'd like to congratulate them.
Yeah.
And I believe that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time.
I do want to say about because happenings came out but there was a little bit late. There was a printing problem, and that's why it came out a little bit late, and we apologize for that. But it was not our department, and I do want to give a big, huge thank you to the Parks and Rec directors who have redone the happenings this time. Looks a lot better, and they have some more plans for the future for the happenings. So I do want to thank them for that, and I want to call for the end of the meeting.
So moved.
Support.
Call for the vote.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Tobin?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins.
And as Mike just said, and I'm sorry, I had it in my notes to say that the ice show is this weekend.